there, so we are going to, in this video, finish up our colorful karyotype activity. So in the last video, we were working on packet pages, was it 73 and 74, where we were coloring in the grandparents, and then we colored in parents, mom and dad, and then we flipped our coin to see which chromosomes from each parent were going to get passed on to us. So we've finished that. We're on part 2. Part 2 is starting right here, step 5. So what we're going to do is on page 3, right? It's the third page of this, which for us is going to be packet page 75. So what we're going to do is on packet page 75, we're going to fill in our own karyotype with the colors from the chromosomes in the sperm and egg diagrams you just finished here on page 2. These chromosomes are formed after the egg and sperm unite and the chromosomes replicate. Fill in the left chromosome from each pair with the paternal color and the right chromosome with the maternal color. Make sure you add your XX or XY chromosomes. Right, so we've got to make sure we don't forget our sex chromosomes. So I'm going to start here with the first chromosome pair, right? And the left chromosome is going to be from dad, and the right chromosome is going to be from mom for the first pair. So I'm going to need green and I'm going to need blue. So your colors will probably differ from mine because remember, you were flipping your own coin. So you most certainly do not have the same outcome as me. But my first homologous pair is going to be green and blue. So I'm going to come here to my own karyotype, and I'm going to color the left one green, like that. And then the one on the right is going to be blue. And then I need to look at chromosome pair number 2. So coming back here to the sperm and the egg, so I'm going to have red and yellow. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my cell phone, and I'm just going to quickly take a picture of this so that I don't have to flip back and forth. That way I can see the egg and sperm results and the own karyotype at the same time. So chromosome 2, the left one was red, and then the one on the right for chromosome pair 2 is going to be yellow. Chromosome pair 3, the one on the left, is going to be red. And again, this is for me. This is what I flip for my coins. Chromosome 3 right here. So this is yellow again. So I'm just going to keep doing this. I'm going to keep looking right at the sperm and the egg results from last time. The sperm results are going to go on the left. The egg results are going to go on the right. And I'm going to pause the video so that you can do this on your own. And then once you get to the last chromosome pair, right, the sex chromosomes, you can unpause the video and we'll move on from there. Okay, see you in a second. Okay, so I have finished coloring all of my homologous chromosome pairs. I just have to do the last box right here, my 23rd pair, which are my sex chromosomes. And when I was flipping the coin, the first X chromosome I got from dad was the red X. And again, I actually didn't have to flip a coin for that. I'm biologically female, so my dad had to give me an X. Whereas, if you are biologically male, your dad gave you a Y. But I did have to flip a coin for the other X chromosome that I got from mom. And for that one, I did get the blue version. So I'm just going to kind of color that in right there like that. So now that I'm finished, I can take a look at my own karyotype. It certainly stands up to the name of the activity. It is very colorful, and it is definitely mine. Right? Your karyotype might be slightly similar. You may have for this first chromosome a green and a blue, but the rest of your karyotype, the rest of your homologous chromosomes are going to be uniquely yours, right? Because no matter how many times I flip a coin, right, it's always going to be that 50-50 shot of, is it going to come up heads or tails? So even if I took the same parents, right, the same dad and the same mom, from page 2, and I flipped a coin again and got a whole new sperm and a whole new egg, it's very highly improbable that I would end up with the exact same karyotype. Now, would I have some overlap? Definitely, right? Because I'm pulling from the same source. So that's why your siblings are similar to you, but you are each unique. So now that I'm done with my own karyotype here on packet page 75, I'm going to come here, packet page 76, and we're just going to answer a couple of the questions here about this karyotype activity. So, members of the human species, we have 46 chromosomes organized into 2 pairs, right? Homologous pairs. An organism that has pairs of chromosomes is called diploid, right? Di meaning 2. So, 1 copy from dad, 1 copy from mom. Organisms that have only 1 chromosome of each type are called haploid, right? Haploid, half, right? You only have 1 copy, like the gametes, egg and sperm. They are haploid because they only have 1 copy. But your karyotype right here, right? This is right after fertilization when you get that zygote. So this is diploid. We need to draw an unreplicated chromosome. So basically, right, that would be right, just kind of a single chromosome, right? Put the centromere in, right, like that. That's unreplicated. And then a replicated chromosome kind of looks more, I don't know, kind of like a butterfly or something. There we go. Mine's a little lopsided. I'm going to redraw that. This is why I grabbed a pencil. It's because I knew my drawing skills would not be up to par. There we go. That's a little bit better. So I've gone from a single chromosome to a double chromosome. It's replicated. I now have my sister chromatids, all of that. So the next question is talking about independent assortment, is the term we use to describe the process of randomly picking a chromosome from each pair in a person to produce their gamete set of chromosomes. Examine your colored in karyotype on page 3 and write down any observations or patterns you notice. So again, this is going to be a little bit different for each of us because we each have our own karyotype. But the first thing that I would say, right, any observations? It's very colorful. It's very colorful. I notice that I do have genes from all 4 grandparents, right? My maternal and paternal grandma and my paternal grandma and grandpa. So I've got all 4 of the colors represented here in my karyotype. Any other observations? I feel like if I went through and counted like how many chromosomes were yellow and green and blue and red, I don't think it would total exactly 25%. I think there's a little bit more green here than there is, of the red. But, and I mean, another observation would be that each color, right? I've got green paired up with yellow. I've got green paired up with blue, blue paired up with red. So there really is no pattern to which, each color chromosome is paired up with, right? It's not like there was a rule or a law in place telling, the red chromosome that it had to pair up with the yellow. It did on quite a few occasions, but it also, right, yellow paired up with green, green paired up with blue. So there really is no pattern, right, to which chromosome color was paired up with another one. The paternal grandparents could have combined, and the maternal grandparents could have combined. So, number 5, use your observations and your diagram to answer this question and explain with details from your karyotype picture. So, is it possible for you to be more related to one grandparent than another? That's a really good question. I think I kind of already answered that just a little bit looking at this karyotype, right? If I go through and I count the different colors, right, I'm pretty sure there's a little bit more green than there is of the other 3. And if I go back in my notes, right, the green was my paternal grandfather. So, yes, it is certainly possible. Right, I could say because of independent assortment, I am certainly going to be a mix of all 4 of my grandparents and a mix of both my parents, but it is definitely possible to be more related to one grandparent than the other, just like it is certainly possible for me to flip a coin and get heads 5 times in a row or get tails 5 times in a row, right? It's just about that chance, right? It's always going to be 50-50. So it is definitely possible to be more related to one grandparent than the other. So for your answer, right, we need to make sure we are explaining. So go through, take a look at your karyotype, and tell me which grandparent are you more related to? And then in your own words, kind of use that, coin analogy to explain how you are more related to one grandparent than the other. So for me, right, yes, I am slightly more related to my paternal grandfather over the others because there are more, what color was it? Green chromosomes than each of the other colors. Now, it's not by a lot, at least for me, right? I think there's 12 or 13 of the green. I think there's 11 of the red, maybe 10 of the blue, something like that. So it's not that I'm a carbon copy of my paternal grandfather, but due to the number of chromosomes that I randomly inherited from my dad, I am slightly more related to that grandparent than I am the other 3. So that's it for this assignment, our colorful karyotypes. I have already glued these notes into my notebook, right? Packet page 76, I glued straight down, and then packet page 75, I taped on top like a hinge, so I could keep both of these together. And this is just on the page right after part 1. So if you have any questions or concerns about this assignment, please let me know. Thanks.